Day 17, vibe coding iOS apps until we make $100. And let's commence. So, to pick up where we left off is take a look. We're still at the $16.84 mark. I did notice that I got 2 more downloads yesterday, or in between the last stream, but I don't think they've purchased them yet. And I think the majority of them are still. Okay, no, majority of the app downloads are still from the United States, but I believe that all the purchases were from Europe. So I don't know. And I was thinking about that. It's possible that there's like European people in European countries that aren't native English speakers, and maybe they're doing work with people who speak English. And maybe this is just a better way for them to maybe they're using it as a transcription app and kind of like a note-taking app. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if they're using it as it's supposed to be intended to. But anyway, that's fine. What's left? Oh yeah, what else did I do? I got the second build on TestFlight pushed out, so that's complete. The login status works now, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like in a second. I mean, I can put it on the simulator too. It wouldn't really matter, but yeah. So if it'll focus, there it is, app jail, and now I have to sign out. But basically, as soon as you go to sign in, it prompts you to sign in with your Apple ID. This thing never wants to focus. But yeah, pretty much just use your Apple ID. If you have a pass key, like fingerprint or face, it works, signs in, and then boom, your account is loaded. So the other stuff that I had to set up for like the family controls and all the other stuff, apparently I'm not going to get some kind of notification that's going to say that it was done. I have to just check my email, which this is just another thing of the whole Apple Store that I'm just like, my God.
You were meant for this journey.
Why?
To change.
Just why? Why is nothing streamlined? But yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this thing run and do another session development while I go and check on that stuff. So
you are, then you already know who to try. And if you really want it all, meet me on the weekend. Put your money where your mouth is, put your money crowd is. Baby, put your hands up, we in the sunlight is. Yes, in the papers, we all
okay, so I think I have to check my personal email, like an old personal email that I have that I use to sign up for the Apple Developer Store. Yeah, I still don't see it. Oh, you know what? Dude. Yeah, so I got your entitlement family controls distribution has been assigned to your account, and you can now configure the capability for eligible apps. If you're enrolled as an organization, admins in your team can now also use this capability. Blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so I think that was everything. I'm assuming. I wish there was a way I could check.
There's nothing I can do or say to get to you. Now I don't know where I belong.
Also, if anybody has used the buddy skill in Claude, let me know. I haven't used it yet. I'm curious about it.
Keeps calling, the raindrops won't stop falling. I fell for all you said. Too easy. Dark clouds won't let me forget.
Okay, and all the other stuff in this app information page, I don't think it's necessary to do just yet. But yeah, Christian Soto in the house. What's up, dude? I think Music's fire. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm good, dude. I'm just fighting Apple over here again for the 18th time. Like, this is the I thought the first two were bad. Like, this is the least. I have to say, like, the App Store Connect is not very user friendly. But I mean, it's already been noted by Apple employees that that's the case. I think they could definitely do an improvement. But other than that, dude, I'm good. It's been sunny over here. First time here. I don't know if you're one of the new viewers or the new subscribers, or if you're somebody that I told you that I sent to come. Oh, I know who this is. Is this Zesty Les, Nate? But yeah, still doing it. We still be doing it. So let's see what Claude is caboodling over here. And by the way, I realized I thought I had to switch the public key out. I didn't. I mean, this doesn't matter to be viewed, but nothing was actually used as the public key. I did make a new one, or the secret key. I did make a new one.
Getting help
But
should be
other than
easier
that,
talking yourself out. Tap the banner
so
to
I guess somebody like a
affordable
year from now could go on the stream and like see that, and grab that key, but I don't really do much. So now it should be running through, let's see, the credit balance, the session history, and profile stats. And I wonder, I guess I can wait until it's done doing this next round before I show you guys on the simulator. Because so far, I mean, I'll pull the app up on the physical device. Thanks for the sub, man. You ever had an Apple device? Yeah, like the only problem is like I have like very limited like Android development knowledge. Although I know there's a lot of frameworks that you can just like kind of port over your apps that are already built from one environment to the other. But I also have no experience with that too. I mean, I'm sure you get it done, right? But the plan was to do iOS only. But hey, it may as well I had the goal to move them all over to Android. May as well. But yeah, so the credit balance. So again, if anybody's watching or is watching the replays, or for anybody that was following along, the idea is that there's apps out there that basically people use to lock themselves out of other apps on their phone. So for example, if I have like an Instagram problem because I'm on Instagram all day long and I look at my screen time, it's like, yo, this dude's averaging 9 hours a day of Instagram. People are downloading and paying for these apps that will essentially lock them out of their Instagram or their X account or whatever. And it's pretty straightforward. But most of the apps, from my understanding, you can just kind of go in there, and if you're desperate enough, they make it to where it's a pain for you to do it. But if you're desperate enough, you can take enough steps to unlock the app that you have locked yourself out of, right? So with App Jail, essentially the same exact premises, right? But instead of you just being able to simply unlock yourself from the app, which you will be able to do in App Jail, but instead of just being able to be that simple, you have to pay $1 for every hour that you need to get unlocked. So let's say that you and that's the business model behind the whole thing too. So like you have to actually pay to unlock what you lock yourself out of, and it's your choice too, right? Like you're choosing to lock yourself out of the app for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, right? Pretty sure I'm gonna like preload everybody with like 10 credits, 10 hours worth of credits on there. But so that's the first part of it. The second part is that there's going to be a high score, which is what we need the Supabase database for. And the third part is I'm going to do wagers. So essentially, like, you can bet against other people, like your friend, like, hey, I locked myself out of Instagram for 10 hours this week. I bet I can do 20. And your friend's like, nah, I bet I can do 25. And whoever wins, you can wager your credits as well. So there will be a way for you to get more credits without having to actually pay to unlock yourself out of stuff. All right, what are we doing now? Lockout session. I think this is the view. Thinking about doing a web app wrapped with capacitors, so it's cross-platform. You see. Capacitor.js. I actually have not heard of this. I know there's a few out there. What are the big ones, man? What are the big ones? God, there's one like right on the tip of my tongue. Okay, I know there's like a .NET framework that okay, React Native is people use Flow, I think. React Native has their own, there is a React Native like specific framework that you can use for this, but like Flow is just like React, and Flow is cross-platform. So Flow, you basically can like put yourself into do the development in one stationary area, and it's their own Flutter. That's it. That's what it was. That's right, Flutter. That's what it was. So let's take a look at capacitor. Okay. So iOS, Android, and progressive web apps. Yeah, this looks kind of like this looks kind of like, yeah. Drop capacitor in any existing web project, framework, or library, convert an existing React. Okay, so that's cool. So you could basically use this for an existing project. You wouldn't have to build it from scratch like that. Beautiful. That's how it should be. That is how it should be. Here you go. Order. Did they do a name change or something? What is the difference between Flutter and Flutter Flip? Yeah, but I have messed around with Flutter before. Just for a coding challenge though, so I wasn't really like into it, and I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. But it seemed pretty straightforward. But yeah, capacitor looks good. Okay, so I think all the nonsense that I had to fill out for the App Store and the Apple family stuff, I think it's good. I mean, all I know is that I got that email and said that I was permitted. I didn't know if I was given permission to use every single one that I selected, but I'm assuming so. But I did have to open up 3 separate tickets for, or it was either 3 or 4 separate tickets for different ones. So, yeah. And if I go into the panel of AppJail, I don't see anything. I don't see anything that would indicate it's going to be a problem. So, all goes well. Should be able to push out build 3. And okay, so it's, why is it, what, did I click the simulator? I'm tripping, dog.
For procurement managers, Grainger is the go-to
the problem
partner
with,
that helps keep your healthcare
non-copyright
facilities ready for patients.
music is
Because
that
there's no time to manage orders and
the commercials. Yeah, I don't think I ran this thing, dude. Why is this popping up? What are you doing?
Baby, I'm just keeping it real. You hold me down on the weather. Down on the weather. You pull me down, 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 down. I try to turn it around.
All right, so I really didn't do much with my personal account today, but I can show you. I'm kind of surprised. All I did was we're already at 9% capacity for usage. I guess loading the memory file burned through a lot of tokens. Why does this keep popping up? What is going on with this? Am I clicking the... No. But, yeah, so I'm surprised that we already used up almost 10% of our context. And, I mean, I only ran it probably like for 2 minutes prior to the stream starting. And... yeah, I don't know what's going on with if anybody's seen the context rot issue that's been going on. I've been seeing it all over Twitter, and the reason I brought that up is because I was going to say, you guys want to browse Twitter while we're waiting for this to finish? And here is my Phantom. Let's see what the newest things are going on today. Claude, we're bringing the advisory strategy to the cloud platform. Advisor strategy. Pair Opus as an advisor with Sonnet or Haiku as an executor. And get near Opus level intelligence in your agents as a fraction of the cost. Okay, so now they're starting to, it seems to me that people have been complaining so much that they're starting to try to find creative, crafty ways to get people to still use their products, but with the knowledge of the fact that they're so costly now. But I mean, if you were smart, you were already kind of doing stuff like this anyway, whether it was doing literally this. Okay, so for example, I won't use Opus for everything. I mean, I'm using Opus right now in here to generate. But if I'm just going to like strategize on something that's not important, I'm not going to use Opus. And most memory management, if it's just me developing something, is either going to be 1 to 3 markdown files max. That's it. So, I mean, you can still use it properly and not hit your daily capacity. But man, I gotta say, I have a coworker, and like he is at his weekly limit by like Tuesday every single week, and he just feeds it so much. And I'm like, I keep trying to tell him, you don't need to do that, but S&P slashes New Orleans credit rating on structurally imbalanced operations. I think they should take a look at Miami too. They should definitely take a look at Miami. That's funny. Metho's taking a look at DeFi protocol. Yeah, that was another thing I've been thinking about too. Is like, how is this going to affect like DeFi? Nobody really messes around with DeFi anymore, so there's kind of like an ocean of things available for it. And yeah, some funny stuff can happen. Here we go. Justin, Amazon will invest $25 billion to build data centers in Mississippi. Oh, you got to be kidding me! Is this real? There's no way this is real. There's no way this is real. There is no fucking way this is real. Okay, enough of the tweetar. Let's check out what we did. Okay, so the only new file. No, I thought we built another new file other than that.
Hey, snack lovers! Meet your
So
new
it
session.
modified
Seaweed,
the
light, crispy,
okay.
and
How
bursting
we
with
built
flavor.
Lockout
This
Session
new
Manager
snack is a full-on
or
taste
Lockout
adventure.
Sessions with.
Roasted
News
into
file
light
is data
crispy
manager,
cheese with bold
and
flavors like chili garlic and cream
gonna
barbecue,
see
giving
the
us
service
totally
that
organic,
is the user
30
profile
calories per
sessions and the
pack,
streak data
made with a big
from our
crunch.
database.
Grab Gimme Roasted Seaweed
And we
snacks at
updated
your local
lockout
store today.
session,
Your
off
taste buds will
manager,
thank you
app
for it.
jail, home view, profile
Seaweed?
view,
So good.
session history view, content view. The data flow is essentially app jail text authorization. It calls data manager to load all queries users, lockout sessions, and streaks tables. Views reactively update via observable and full to refresh on all three tabs. Refetches everything. So essentially you just pull down the tab and refresh it like you would in any other app. You'll see real data, 10 credits. Okay, so let's actually, we have a build error. Let's rebuild and let's run on the simulator. Okay, so the errors went away. That might have been lingering from the last session. Oh yeah. Fuck. Okay, I just realized I'm not gonna be able to test the login through the simulator. Unless maybe this will work if I do it like this. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it actually is using my my real Apple ID when we sign in here. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so this should work now. Type them again. Fine. Am I going to be user number 1? Okay, cool. So we got our 10 credits. We have our basic UI, and I think like obviously it's going to need to get updated to look a little bit cooler. But for now, we just want to make sure everything works. All right. We got our history, profile. The rank is distracted. And I think to get more, obviously, this is not going to work yet, right?
Learning, I'm in the driver's seat.
Because we don't even have those views done.
What I already know and what's happening in my world.
That's probably going to be in the next phase.
Let's do
but
this. Get the W.
Okay.
Walden University.
So let's do some manual QA. Let's go. Okay, we don't have to do this first part because we found out that we can sign in with our actual account on the simulator. So that's fine. And it did indeed show 10 credits. Distracted rank, 0 days streaks, or 0 days streak, yeah, 0 total hours. Profile history tab shows no sessions. Verify profile shows your name or player. Just as new user. 10 credits, distracted. Rank, all stats 0. Yep.
Okay, so the pull down to refresh. That works, but there's technically no data coming back to it, so it's not like there's anything actually there to refresh. Cross check. Open Cubase dashboard.
Let's go.
Oh no, did you hook it up already?
It's only the first of the month. Yeah. I knew that I'd be insecure. I didn't think it hurt this much. Like I don't wanna lose all we got.
Okay.
Something you could do to piss me off. And I'ma make
Where was
a
I?
fool of myself. So tell me what to do.
Table editor.
And I can meet you
User
on the
table.
west side. She said that she won't roll me. I told her that's right.
Yeah, there's one good new user. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this GUID. Yeah, instance ID 0. Okay, cool. Let's take this and let's do this. Let's do. How can I get to a query editor? Can I do? Let's do this. No, I don't want to create a table. There has to be some query editor here, huh? Yeah, SQL editor. Okay. And what table was that? Fuck. Users, right? Yeah. Okay. Select $. Users. Where ID equals. The polymarket says. Oh, that was from the Twitter thing that I just copied. I had to have been that. Okay. Finally says if I'm starting from scratch in app development without prior coding knowledge, what is the best approach to learn? What is your skill set revolving AI? How is that right now? Do you have any experience with that? Because I don't know what your goal is, right? If your goal is to get a job, is your goal to develop something in particular, or is your goal just to learn? If your goal is to and you want to be doing coding stuff by hand, then that's okay. I would probably start with any sort of tutorial. There's a bazillion free tutorials on YouTube. I mean, this page, I have like Rust tutorials. I think I have TypeScript tutorials too. And not me. I mean, there's 1,000 other YouTube channels out there that have a bunch of tutorials, right? So I would start there. That's if you want to be artesian about it. If you want to be realistic, and okay, this is something I've been like struggling with. So I go into my
Well, you're still smart.
I'll show
Not
you guys
exactly
this.
challenging yourself. You could
Let me share something with you guys.
In the world's most powerful navy.
So I go into my panel on YouTube Studio, and like I can see all the views and everything I get, right? Most live streams I've done, and I've been live streaming for years now, mostly live streams I've done never really got a lot of views until I started doing live streams on vibe coding. And the reason why I know that it's getting lots of views is because there's this big polar shift going on right now. And I'm sorry if I'm over answering your question, but if you just bear with me, I'm going to make a point. There's a big battle and polar shift going on right now between developers, and they're like being broken up into separate techs. Okay, I'm seeing this in work. I'm seeing this in real life, and I'm seeing it anecdotally between most of my friends in real life are developers or engineers or sysop engineers or something, right? And there's like two distinct groups. There's people who are absolutely against the AI tool usage, and there's people that are and there's people that are all on board with it and they're all in, right? I think the healthy thing to do is to be in the middle, but probably I think the better thing to do is to be realistic and to accept that this is this is going to be the new meta. This is how people are doing things, right? And I can explain that, and people can fight me and debate me on it or whatever, right? But my point here, this stream, I think it was episode or day 8. The day 8 stream, guys, I got 2,245 views, which, I mean, I'm a small channel, right? But to me, that was a lot. And I got a lot of comments on it, and there were people who were genuinely curious about it. But where'd it go? But the dislike percentage was 61%. So I still had a favorable 61% of positivity. But if you actually were to go and watch that live stream and you were watching it with the mindset of like, hey, I want to like learn how other people are doing this and like what's the new meta, what's the best way to do it, they're not going there to dislike it, right? That tells me that the people that are disliking it are like the angry, disgruntled, fearful, quite frankly. And it's okay it's okay to be fearful about it. I mean, I was too, but that subset group of people, and I think people just need to realize that, like, at the end of the day, we're just obfuscating one higher level up of our way of communicating with the computer at the end of the day. Okay, this is nothing new. This is nothing that happened before. AI is not magic. It's not sentient. Okay, it just allows us to speak to the computer in our native speaking language. So I'm a native English speaker. I can now speak to the computer in English. So why should I be upset about that when my ability to be a good engineer is even less limited now by me memorizing this new library that's here today, gone tomorrow, and learning the next language that comes out or whatever? Like, it just makes no sense. And that was one of my biggest problem. And my first like 5, 6, 7 years in my career was like, dude, every time I learn like a new library or something, like it's replaced by something else. So anyway, to answer your question in long story, make it short, the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, if you're trying to do this to become professional, is I would learn how to become an AI power user ASAP. Just because you can use AI doesn't mean you're going to be good with stuff, but you can rest assured that if you get stuck in a pinch, you don't know something, you can ask AI to walk you through it. And that's no different than 5 years ago when you didn't know how to do something, you got stuck in the process of building something, from you going on Google and searching through stuff or making a post on Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow, I think, is a dead website now. No one's even using it anymore. And rightfully so. I fucking hate that site. I'm sorry to say. I hate all the angry people in there and nobody ever wanting to be helpful. But the same thing. You can literally, so if you wanted to start, pull up, find some model that you're comfortable with. First of all, you figure out how to use AI. Find some model you're comfortable with. Start tinkering around with it. You can prompt it, hey, walk me through step by step how to build A, B, C, and to get it all the way to a finished version. And once you kind of go through that flow and you kind of get your kind of own workflow going, you'll be doing development at that point. And what will make you better after that? That's going to be domain knowledge and context, which everybody's going to have their own domain knowledge and their own context on top of that. So, yeah, that's what I would do. And if you do just want to be artesian about it, I would start focusing hardcore on like tutorials on like literal hand coding. And I'm not going to tell you to completely neglect hand coding. I'm going to say 10% of the time I work, I look at code now. It used to be like 75% before AI. Now it's 10%. But you're still going to want to know some nuances of coding as well too. So that's what I would do, man. I hope that helps. Notes taken, Christian Toto. Okay, what was I doing? I think I'm trying to select this. You run it? Okay, that works. Okay, so then let's do this. Let's update. There's gotta have written a SQL query in so long. Update users set. It should be set. Maybe it doesn't like when I do a multi-line. Set ID equal Josh, where Oh no, it's not ID, it's display name. Where ID equals that. Okay, and I don't know what does this use Postgres? Does Kubernetes use Postgres? I don't know. We're about to run anyway, so no rows return. All right, so let's select that again. Okay, that worked. Okay, so now that that's updated, let's make sure my display name should be Josh if we refresh the app. So here's new user. Let's refresh it. Boom. Okay, so our DB is indeed connected, and that is good to go. Wow, that was a lot quicker than I thought. And yeah. Should I first study the entire framework, for example, learn Flutter completely, and then start building applications? Or can I begin by building apps directly using tools like chatbots for guidance? Also, is it possible to become capable of building a complete app using this approach, and how much time would it typically take to reach that level? Yes, it's 100% possible to do that. I mean, I've so far in this series, I'm almost finished my second app, and I've only ran this series for like anywhere between 30-minute to 1 hour sessions, like 15 different times. And if you go back and watch one of the streams, there's a lot of messing around and just me talking. So, and by the way, they're fully published to the App Store. If you check the description, the most recent one is on there. You can see it. But yes, it's 100% possible. Is it gonna? If you're less experienced, is it going to be able to do that in like a timely manner? No, but the more you do it, the faster you're going to get and the easier it's going to be, right? Should you study entire frameworks? I would say if this was 2016, 2017, I would say investing your time learning entire frameworks would have been a pretty good idea. But now, no. I'm going to say that learning the framework itself. So here's the thing. Like I said, like we okay, first computer programming was all binary zeros and ones. Okay. And that's incredibly fucking hard to like do. Let's do this. I'll do this. I'll ask Claude, give me an example of binary code that adds two numbers together. I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to try to like show you something so you can understand the context behind what I'm saying to give you the answer. Because I think it's going to answer more.
But it knows nothing about.
Okay, so this is actually showing assembly code, not even binary.
It doesn't just know the facts.
Here we go.
It knows what you're working
so
on.
just to add two numbers together, you had to be able to do handwrite all this, right? Eventually that translates up a level into what's called assembly code, which is like move something 5, add something 3. So there's addresses here, it's a command, and there's very minimal stuff that you can do with assembly code, right? So in order to do anything complex with this code, you had to have massive amounts of code that you wrote forever and ever on end, and it took just way too long, right? So anytime you had to just like do something like, let's say you were trying to develop a software for an insurance company, and just like doing basic calculations that you could do on your calculator to determine what the payout of somebody was to be, it made more sense for these companies to do that by hand with a calculator, because they would have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and years in development. There's something basic. Then we got into several other. Eventually, we got, I'm skipping things, but eventually we got into what's called high-level programming languages, which is like JavaScript, Java, whatever, right? Then you have libraries on top of that, okay? And these are all just ways for you to communicate with the machine better, more efficiently, whatever. Now, because of AI, the programming language itself, which, let me pause for a second. This stuff right here didn't go away. This stuff still exists. everything that I'm talking to you guys through the stream right now is being handled on these servers. There's assembly code that's going on saying move this memory here, do this there, all to keep all these pixels showing on the screen and giving to you guys through the air, right? But that is getting translated down from several other abstractions of programming language down the chain, right? So the people who developed StreamYard, the people who developed YouTube and all this stuff, they weren't writing in machine code. They wrote with higher level programming languages, and it was being compiled down or getting ran down into this code here. So I would ask you this. Since it's not the 1970s anymore and nobody is learning specifically how to like memorize binary machine code, like for example, you'd only do that now to pass like a sys operating level class in your bachelor's degree, right? Other than that, you're never in the real world going to be using this. Does it mean that you shouldn't have a basic fundamental understanding? Of course you should. But as far as learning the entirety of something that's no longer at the same abstraction level that you should be using isn't the smartest thing to do. It's probably going to be not the most. It's probably going to be the least efficient way to use your time. And because of the fact that you can use AI in English as your programming language, as your main driver, I think being better with the tooling itself, the modern tooling itself, which by the way, this is going to change in 20 years too. But that's a part of this field is like you have to be able to be malleable and learn. But that's what I would do. Would it hurt to still like learn stuff in the framework? No. So what I would do is I would focus on the AI itself. Pick a specific framework that you think you're interested in, and while you're building stuff out, take that time in that framework to learn specific nuances from that framework. But don't like fool yourself on the fact that you didn't memorize stuff from it, so you don't have a complete understanding of it. Because again, at the end of the day, that's now like at a lower level of abstraction from what we're doing. So that is what I would do. So this worked, and I think I'm going to tell this guy, full refresh. Sign out, sign in, back in. I tried that on my phone prior to this. Okay, let's do it here anyway. I did it before the most recent changes, but okay, here we go. Sign back in. Let me hide my password from you guys. Okay, that worked. Okay. Oh, I wonder if my DB chain is still. There's no problem with that yet. This is Josh. Yep. How do I turn on airplane mode in the simulator? Can I do that in the simulator? Do I have to go through literally settings? Search airplane. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna pretend like it passed. There's another button here. I'm just not pulling down. Oh no, that worked. So if the pull down on the simulator works, what is it on the phone? It's like what's the right? Yeah, nothing shows up. Okay.
Granger offers professional.
The last thing is the super-based table editor, or they want a super-based data verification super-based table. Mainly, we already did that. We already did that.
Granger for the ones who
but it wants me to update the credit balance. What did we do? We updated the. We updated the display name. Okay, that's fine. We'll do another one. Update users set credit balance equal to. Dude, let's do something ridiculous. We'll try to make a break. What is the largest number? I don't know. What is this, an integer? You know where I can check?
here. Users. Credit balance. Integer, not null, default 0. Check. Oh, there is a check in here. Credit balance greater than or equal to 0. Okay. There was some fail safes, but I think this is not. I think this is going to be. Okay, so this shouldn't work, but I think it's going to. So, but let's see. Where ID equals. Okay, this shouldn't work, but I think it's going to. Yeah, okay. Where is the syntax error? Oh, yeah. Duh. No commas in there. But how much is that? Is that 100 million, 100 grillion, 100 billion? 100 quintillion? It's 6 grillion is what it'd be. Yeah, integer out of range. Okay. So what is the max int for a what is the max int for a Postgres? That's also out of range. Okay. What is that? 10 million? 100 million? Let's see. Okay, that's ridiculous. That shouldn't work. But it does. So we're going to have some fail safes there. I'm going to note that. Okay, all test outdated. I manually updated both the display name and the credit balance, and it both works. I set the credit balance to be. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's 1 billion. All right, on to track. Yeah, and I'm also concerned about somebody like hitting that endpoint and like doing that, but I think we had a strategy for that too. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and push a build out to TestFlight. Oh, first I got to change the build number. We got to go up 1, build 3.
K-pop Demon Hunters, Haja Boy's breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle.
Kill all commercials. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Let's distribute it. No, it still does 2. Oh, because I ran it before I updated the. Yeah. Now it should say 3. Timely. I know I got ranty there, but I hope I helped you with something, man. But yeah, back to that rant. If anybody still cares, like, it's not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing that, like, okay, there's probably the biggest news in the fear right now is like the tech industry is screwed. Like, that may be true, and if I'm honest, there's a large percentage of people post 2019 that got into tech that should have never been there, and they just were there because there was a grift, right? But for the true ones, the OGs. There's a lot of places and people who should be very, very fearful right now because they're not going to be as useful or needful. But the last people who should be engineers, because now your only limitation is your personal context and domain knowledge and your creativity. Before, those all used to be limitations
Plus, it was you having to memorize syntax for every single goddamn new thing that's out there, and you constantly having to deal with not having like any kind of way to like speed that process up other than just having to open up books, go to forums, redo projects over and over again until you got it. So learn how to use the new tooling. There is nuance to it. There's nuance to using AI because you have to think too, like AI is costly. It's not free to use. You burn literal tokens. So there's ways to do things in an efficient manner. And like, you know, you could, if you don't know what you're doing, you could burn through a lot of tokens and you could end up with a shittier quality product than if you were to just do something in a different way that you had a little bit more knowledge with. And if you want to be like productive to a company, if you want to start your own business, the last thing you want to do is be like your ability to build stuff is like costly, right? So yeah. Okay, that guy's pushed up. And I think I have to just go here and confirm. Yes, this guy's processing. It's going to take a bit. But I think at this point, I think we're good to call it for the night. Should be able to start up next time. Load the app on the physical iPhone and double check everything and make sure that's all good. So yeah, I'm hungry and I want to go back to the pump. I'll see you guys probably Tuesday. Yeah. Bye.